And that's exactly why he isn't texting you back. You're staring at a screen that hasn't lit up in 6 hours, wondering if you should just check in or if you should throw your phone off a bridge. Every minute that passes feels like a personal rejection. You're rereading your last message, checking his last seen status, and analyzing the punctuation of a text he sent 3 days ago. It's exhausting. It's draining your battery, not just your phone's, but your soul's. You feel small, needy, and completely powerless. But what if I told you that the very act of waiting is what's pushing him away? What if there was a way to flip the script so completely that he's the one checking his phone every 30 seconds, hoping to see your name? Stay with me, because we're going to stop the waiting game today. I know exactly where you are right now. You're sitting on your couch, or maybe you're at work trying to look busy, but your brain is in a loop. You've probably already rehearsed a casual text in your Notes app, something that sounds breezy but secretly screams, "Why are you ignoring me?" You feel that tight knot in your chest, that physical ache of being low on someone's priority list. You're telling yourself, if he cared, he'd reach out. And you're right to feel hurt. Your feelings are valid. It sucks to be in limbo. But here's the urgency. Every second you spend in this waiting room of the mind, you are leaking high-value energy. You are literally training him to see you as a static object in his life, something that is always there, always available, and therefore never a priority. If you don't change this right now, the gap between his texts is only going to get longer. Now, here's what nobody tells you, and it's going to sting a little. The common belief is that if you just give him space or wait it out, he'll eventually miss you and come back. That is a lie. The real psychological truth is that men, and humans in general, don't crave what is certain. They crave what is dynamic. The reason he isn't texting isn't necessarily because he doesn't like you. It's because you've become a predictable variable in his environment. Psychology calls this reward prediction error. When someone knows exactly where you are and what you're thinking, the dopamine hit associated with reaching out to you drops to 0. You think you're being loyal by waiting. In reality, you're being boring to his subconscious. To get him running back, we have to reintroduce the element of the unknown. The first thing you have to do is kill the ghost in your house. Your phone is a haunted object, and you need an exorcism. Most people keep their phone right next to them, waiting for that ding like a hit of a drug. You are literally haunted by the ghost of a conversation that isn't happening. When you keep your phone in your hand, your brain stays in high alert mode. Your nervous system is primed for a response. When it doesn't come, you experience a cortisol spike. This makes you project anxious energy, even when you do eventually talk to him. He can smell the desperation through the screen. Think of a time you were super busy at a party or a project. You forgot your phone in your bag for 3 hours. When you finally checked it, you had 3 texts. Why? Because your energy wasn't tugging on the other person. Put your phone in a drawer, in a different room. Leave it there for 2 hours. Go for a walk without it. You need to break the umbilical cord between your mood and his thumb. But putting the phone away is just the setup. What you do next is where the real magic happens. Next, you need to become a non-renewable resource. You are too easy to find, and that makes you cheap in his subconscious. In economics, the price of a resource stays low if the supply is infinite. If you are always available to text back within 3 minutes, your supply of attention is infinite. This is based on scarcity heuristics. We assign higher value to things that are difficult to obtain or that have limited windows of availability. If he knows he can text you at 11 p.m. and get a deep, meaningful conversation, he has no incentive to work for your time. Imagine a luxury brand that only opens its doors for 4 hours a week. People line up around the block. Now imagine a 24-hour convenience store. You go there when you're desperate, not because you value the experience. Stop being the convenience store. Create blackout periods where you are simply unreachable, not out of spite, but because you are genuinely occupied. When he does text, don't answer immediately. Wait until you are actually free. Let him wonder what or who is taking up your time. Take a deep breath. Shake out your shoulders. You're overthinking this. Being busy is great, but if you want him to actually run back, you have to perform the main character pivot. You are currently playing a supporting role in his movie, and it's time to fire the director. Waiting for a text is supporting character energy. You are waiting for the lead actor to give you a cue. Attraction is a byproduct of autonomy. People are drawn to those who have a vibrant, independent world. When you center your day around his response, your world shrinks to the size of a 6-inch screen. He can feel that your happiness is dependent on him, and that is a massive amount of pressure that causes people to withdraw. Think of the person you know who is always doing cool stuff, posting snippets of their hobby or hanging with friends. You want to be around them because their vibe is infectious. They aren't waiting for you. You're trying to keep up with them. Do one thing today that has absolutely nothing to do with him, romance, or your phone. Go to a rock climbing gym, start that painting, or call a friend you haven't spoken to in months. Post a photo of it, not for him to see, but for you to remember you have a life. If you think this is about playing games, you're wrong. It's about playing a different game entirely. This brings us to the silence strike. Silence is your loudest communication tool. We think that by explaining our feelings or confronting him about the lack of texting, we will fix it. We won't. In psychology, this is known as negative reinforcement. If he stops texting and you send a, "Hey, is everything okay?" text, you are rewarding his silence with your attention. You are teaching him that he can pull away and you will chase to close the gap. It's like a dog that barks when you leave the room. If you come back every time he barks, he'll never stop barking. If he pulls away and you lean in, he will keep pulling away because he knows you'll do the work for both of you. When the conversation dies, let it stay dead. Do not resuscitate the chat. Do not send a meme to break the ice. Let the silence sit there. It's in the silence that he realizes you aren't chasing. It's in the silence that he starts to feel the loss of you. Stay with me, because we're about to hit the most important shift of all. The next point changes the power dynamic forever. You must implement the mirror protocol. Stop giving 100% to someone who is giving you 20%. You are likely over-functioning in this relationship. You're sending long paragraphs, he's sending emojis. You're asking questions, he's giving answers. This is about investment parity. A relationship only feels stable when both parties are investing roughly the same amount of effort. When you overinvest, it creates an imbalance of power. He subconsciously loses respect for your time because you're giving it away for free. If you're playing catch and you throw the ball, but the other person doesn't throw it back, you don't run over, grab the ball out of their hand, and put it back in yours just so you can throw it again. You stand there and wait for them to throw it back. Mirror his energy exactly. If he takes 5 hours to reply, you take at least 5. If he gives you a one-word answer, do not respond with a story. Match the weight of the interaction. This isn't being petty, it's being calibrated. Now, I know what you're thinking, But if I do this, what if he never texts back? I'm going to be honest with you. That is a possibility. But wouldn't you rather know now that he's not willing to put in the effort, rather than wasting another 6 months waiting for a man who treats you like an option? Stay with me, because this next part, the golden nugget, is the secret sauce. This is the psychological shift that turns waiting into winning. Here is the life-changing revelation. The wait is only painful because you believe he has something you don't. You are waiting for his text because you've convinced yourself that his message is the key to your confidence, your beauty, or your worthiness today. You've handed him the remote control to your internal state. The reason he'll come running when you stop waiting isn't because of a trick. It's because the moment you stop waiting, you reclaim your own value. When you truly internalize the fact that you are the prize, that his phone is the one missing out on your notifications, your entire body language changes. Your digital vibe changes. You move from a place of lack to a place of abundance. People are naturally drawn to abundance. They are repelled by lack. When he senses that you no longer need that ding to feel good about yourself, he will instinctively feel a sense of loss. He will realize the main character has left the scene, and he will do whatever it takes to get back into your script. Stop looking for the text and start looking for yourself. Waiting for a text is just a symptom of a temporary loss of self. By reclaiming your time, mirroring his energy, and centering your own life, you stop being a passenger and start being the driver. Remember, you don't need to chase what is already yours. What is one thing you're going to do for yourself today that has absolutely nothing to do with your phone? Let me know in the comments. If you're wondering why he pulled away in the first place, you need to watch this next video on the 3 hidden triggers that make him distance himself. I'll see you over there.